Race 17 rolls into the place where it all began. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to Daytona International Speedway as we get ready for the running of the Driving for Lineman 200. Second time these drivers have been here to this 2.5-mile super speedway. A lot of people call it a D-shaped oval, but this is definitely a monster unto itself in this type of racetrack. However, this is the first time that these drivers are going to be racing at Daytona under the lights in the Truck Series. Our first race took place during the day, and so we'll see what these drivers are going to be able to do in the course of under the lights with maybe a little bit more grip in the racetrack and more of an opportunity to be able to make passes. We may see a lot of three-wide racing during the course of this evening's event. We're just going to have to wait and see. 32 laps await us here this evening. A lot of people have their eyes on the 21 of Tony Green, because the last time we were here at the season opener, it was Green who went to victory lane, and Tony Green's one of those drivers who really could use a good run, preferably a second win here tonight, in the fact he comes into this race in that critical 30th position in the point standings. He's got to get himself higher up in the points so that way his Daytona win would count towards one of those 8 slots in the playoffs, the chase for the Truck Series Championship. Right now, those 8 spots would currently be held by Joshua Hyatt, who picked up his second win of the season last week at Rockingham. He would be tied with the number 1 seed with Charles Jackson. Jackson also with 2 wins. He is 17th in points. Hyatt comes into this race 5th in the standings. Then A Garcia, Nick Johnson, Marcus Saachi, Carter Friesen, Jonathan Zoerlein, and Isaac Nicholls currently hold the other 6 positions. Nicholls up to 23rd in the points, ahead of drivers like Alex Gray, Tony Green, Nicholas Rail, and Joshua Sakuli, who all really need good runs tonight, and they need for Nicholls to run into trouble here this evening. But we'll be trying to keep tabs on all of the current playoffs scenarios coming into tonight's race, but there's a lot of drivers that want to pick up their first win of the season, namely, how about the guy starting on the pole? Tristan Allen there in the 12. Allen is 13th in the points coming into this race, but still looking for his first trip to victory lane. If he wins here tonight, he could be in the conversation of a driver that would be in one of those playoff positions when the regular season comes to a close. But without further ado, let's go down trackside, get those most famous words in motorsports here tonight at Daytona.
Drivers, start your engines!
And as the command is given, our stages tonight for our 32-lap event will be 10, 10, and 12. So the completions of laps 10, 20, and 32 is when the stage points will be awarded. Let's give you your top 10 overall in the point standings coming into tonight's race, presented by Golden Corral. Ace Garcia, who we see is going to roll off from the 3rd position here tonight, holds a 41-point lead between himself and Ryan Madden. Nick Johnson is now 3rd in points with Seth Cole in 4th. Joshua Hyatt, after his win last week at Rockingham, North Carolina, is now jumped 15 spots up to 5th. Ricky Cervantes, who finished runner-up here at the first time at Daytona by half a truck length to Tony Green, is 6th in points. Joseph Srigley in 7th. Michael Whitman 8th. Marcus Saachi 9th, and Zach Rogers in 10th. Of the 10 drivers in the point standings, only 4 have been to victory lane this season. So you look at someone like Ryan Madden, Seth Cole, Cervantes, Srigley, Whitman, Rogers. If they go to victory lane here tonight, they could very well leapfrog a number of drivers and put themselves right in the scenario of getting into the chase for the TaxSlayer Truck Series Championship. Top Gun Motorsports still looking for their first win of the season. Closest they were was Zach Rogers. But Zach Rogers did not close the deal back at, I'm trying to remember what track it was even at. I want to say it was back at, is it Arizona? Yep, Arizona, where Jordan Lopez was able to best him. They got a number of drivers, like we mentioned, that are running pretty well in the point standings. Rogers in 10th and Tristan Allen 13th. We'll see what happens here tonight, though. It's one of those wild card tracks. Anybody can go to victory lane. They're all on a level playing field. Green flag is out. We're underway here today at Daytona. Let's roll. ready 3 wide further back. Looked like that was Gabe Williams forcing the issue as Jake Moss tried to tuck down in line between Tristan Allen and Ace Garcia. Nothing doing. Fly-by camera down the back straightaway here. As Ace Garcia moves into second, they're going to go 3 wide for third. That's Stuart Gratton down on the bottom. Nicholls put in the middle, Moss up top, and the battle's on for the lead. Garcia saw that momentum the inside line had. He moves to the bottom of the racetrack on Tristan Allen, who's going to lead the first lap between the 51 and the 12. Scoring says it was Garcia. 4 wide. That was Caitlin Tsang forcing the issue there, putting Stuart Gratton in the middle, along with Nicholls and Moss, and they are almost 4 wide again. Jessica Miles almost thought about also filling in that hole. And Gratton now is going to go 3 wide here for third place. Actually, no, that's for second. No, it is for, actually, that's for fourth. As J Lagasee was able to get out in front with Caitlin Tsang in second, and now Tristan Allen has slipped back into third place. Caitlin Tsang does not have good memories of Daytona. It was last season. No, actually it was season 1 of the Pizza Hut X Series, when Caitlin Tsang finished half a car length back from winning her first Pizza Hut X Series victory. That was to Matthew Dallio. Dallio took that win in the inaugural race of the Pizza Hut X Series. Caitlin Tsang looking for some redemption here at Daytona. Let's see where she finished at Daytona to begin the season. Tsang finished in 39th. 1 lap down. So obviously, Caitlin Tsang looking for some redemption here, maybe feeling that this super speedway owes her one. J Lagasee out in front in the 11 truck. Lagasee finished 23rd here at the beginning of the season, and here comes the 19 of Isaac Nicholls. Now this is exactly what Nicholls needs, in the fact that he's now jumped up into that final transfer position into the playoffs. In order to make sure he stays there, got to get stage points to keep himself ahead of drivers like Alex Gray, Nicholas Rail, Tony Green, Joshua Sekuli. Also seeing at 88, Jonathan Zoerlein, another driver who is currently in the playoffs right now, holding the 7th slot in the playoffs. And he's now going to follow Nicholls, who goes to the lead. Zoerlein will go into 2nd place. Starting to see the 4 of Charles Jackson moving his way to the front. I don't know if you just saw him there on the right side of your screen, but also making forward progress is the 21 of Tony Green, the driver who went to victory lane the last time we were here at Daytona. As Zoerlein now will move to the front, getting help from the 92 of Mason Wood. And now Mason Wood trying to take the top position. Talk about how this racetrack is one of those wild card races where usually the driver you don't expect tends to go to victory lane. Well, that 92 would certainly fit that mold, as he comes into this race 41st of the 42 drivers in the point standings. Wood has 2 top 5 finishes this season, but certainly not a whole lot to show for it with the rest of the season that he's had. Jessica Miles now going to go for 2nd place off of Zoerlein. Right behind her, 2-time winner Charles Jackson, now tied with Joshua Hyatt for most wins this season. And last week, when Joshua Hyatt swept all 3 stages, he bypassed Charles Jackson for most stage wins this year. So Charles Jackson having a little bit of work to do to make sure he can be the #1 seed once the playoffs begin, because right now it would be Joshua Hyatt who would have the #1 seed heading into the postseason. Jackson going to get to the inside of Mason Wood. Patrick Smith right behind him in the 41. And there's the 30 of Tyler Deaver, the 33 of Michael Whitman. Deaver coming into this race 15th in points. We already documented Whitman 8th in the standings. That team has really stepped it up with finishes the last couple of weeks. Jackson trying to lead a lap here, but I don't know if he's going to be able to. Patrick Smith going to get to the inside of him. And at the line, I think Jackson did hang on by maybe a couple of inches to lead that lap. So a very important bonus point for the 4 truck. As now Patrick Smith out in front. Patrick Smith was a driver that was up inside the top 10 in the points for about the first 10 races of the season, maybe the entire first half of the regular season, but now finds himself falling back to the 18th position in the point standings. Didn't have the best of runs last week at Rockingham, and now here comes Michael Whitman. Big head of steam, and he's going to get a big run into turn 3 and very easily take the top position away from Patrick Smith. Brings C Tsang along with him, along with Stuart Gratton. Getting close to our first stage being complete. 2 laps to go here in stage 1. The field has gotten a little bit spread out. Jump back here and you have some stragglers. A couple of drivers who finished first and second last week. Joshua Hyatt, our winner, and then not too far back there is Darren Davidson behind yonder Yepez and Joseph Srigley. But then you jump back here, Alex Gray and Seth Cole trying desperately to stay in the draft of this lead pack. Julius Anderson back here all by himself. Zach Rogers has also lost the group, along with Ryan Brommer, Nick Johnson, Dylan Thoreau leading these 3. Marty Czekala has lost the lead pack. Marcus Saachi has also dropped back here. Nicholas Rail. For Saachi, that's not good for him. He dropped 5 spots in the standings last week at Rockingham, and if he finishes poorly here tonight, that's going to drop him even further. He came into this race 9th in points, and of course for Nicholas Rail, he actually didn't have that bad a run at Rockingham last week. He finished, I think it was 10th, and jumped up 6 spots in the point standings. And as we mentioned, he, along with Green and Gray and Sekuli, they're all trying to catch Isaac Nicholls to get into the playoffs, all former winners this season, and that's not the run that Nicholas Rail needs to have right now, running at the tail end of the field. The thing he needs probably would be a caution flag. Noticing a driver that's working his way up here through the field, and he was one of the drivers I was really going to be interested to see how he would do here tonight, and that's the 58 of Ricky Cervantes. He is another driver, much like the driver we're looking at, Michael Whitman, who in the past 3 or 4 weeks has really stepped it up with his finishes. And he is on that inside line making some forward progress, and I would say within the next couple of laps, if he keeps his truck on the bottom, he will be cracking the top 10. Jump back here for a moment because I saw Stuart Gratton move up a little, and I wondered if Tyler Deaver was going to force the issue 4 wide heading here into turn number 3, but he did not. Carter Friesen there in the 29, starting to work his way up towards the front. Right now, as far as the live point standings go for the playoffs, both of the Brad Keselowski racing cars would be making the chase for the championship. Mentioned, of course, that Ricky Cervantes has good numbers here. 1 start, 1 second place finish by half a car length to the eventual winner of our opening season race, Tony Green. Michael Whitman enjoying the view out in front right now, though, in that 33 truck. Not a real surprise to be seeing him having a good run here, and his teammate Easton Barber is actually now up inside the top 10 as well. Oh, whoa, whoa, we got a wreck! Someone's around. That is Lopez, and he just got hit by somebody else. Tristan Allen has spun as well. Caution's going to fly. And just ahead of the leaders was the 94 of Nicholas Rail. He will remain on the lead lap. That was a miracle God-sent caution for the 94. But I saw Lopez get nailed. He might have flipped over. That car went up on 2 wheels. Also around was the car of Tristan Allen, and I couldn't tell who else was involved, but a big wreck out of turn 4 puts us under caution for the first time here tonight at Daytona, just into our second stage of the race. Pit road will be open this time, so we'll stick around just to see if these drivers decide to pit here under this yellow. There you see the skid marks. Seth Cole in the 98 on the apron, so he must have gotten a piece of it. Ooh, gotta slow down here, guys. Ace Garcia, I don't know what he's doing, but he's flying into this group. Easton Barber just got wrecked. Eli Sazak just got spun around. There's Tristan Allen. I know he got spun, and there's the car I saw go up on 2 wheels, Lopez in the 23. Might have been a lot, not quite as bad a wreck as it appeared to be. Maybe we had some drivers have to take evasive action and avoid the wreck, and so it looked like it was bigger than it was, but nonetheless, it's still a caution. As it looks like the race leader, Michael Whitman, is going to come to pit road, and there was a bit of a gap back there. I think somebody stayed out. Not 100% certain. Yeah, Caitlin Tsang stayed out, as did, is that Nicholls in the 19 and Alex Gray in the 0? Yeah. Julius Anderson and Marty Czekala also staying out. And let's watch the battle off pit road. Here comes Whitman. And he's going to very easily win the battle off pit road. It looks like Zoerlein comes out second, Mason Wood, Tyler Deaver, Davey Johnson, and then Patrick Smith, as we nearly had a wreck right there. Shane Lake coming out in front of Charles Jackson. So Michael Whitman wins the battle off pit road. Question is, though, will he be restarted as the leader? 5 drivers decide to stay out under this caution. Tsang, Nicholls, Gray, Anderson, and Czekala. Let's take a look at a replay of what put us under the caution for the first time here tonight at Daytona. Alright, let's see what happened here off the corner, off of turn 4. I think they were 4 wide. And right there, I think Shane Lake got up into Easton Barber, but I'm not 100% certain. Then gets up into the 0.5 of Sazak. R Cervantes got involved in that there in the 58, and there you see him back there just stacking up. That's Lagasee in the 11. Ace Garcia got a shot. He's the one that sent Lopez up on 2 wheels. Darren Davidson around there in the grass. The Cooley is involved. Yepez is involved. We get Srigley going through the grass. Jake Moss trying to avoid. Tony Green also avoiding there. Also did last week's winner Joshua Hyatt in the 83. And then here's where the issue is going to happen. As these drivers are trying to get themselves refired and get going, there are other drivers that are racing back to the caution flag. And if you look up on the top side of your screen, you're going to see them. Oh, wow, Sazak. Not sure if he didn't see where he was going with all that dust kicked up. He ran into the back of Lagasee again. Now, you see right there, Yepez in the 00. He's caught on the apron, and I think he's the car that's actually going to get nailed by a couple of other drivers that are starting to come into view. Oh, nope, it isn't him. It's actually the 3 of Easton Barber there. Seth Cole was behind Alex Gray, and I don't think he saw Easton Barber and Jordan Lopez there. He runs into the 3, and the 3 then nails the 23. Now look at all these guys being able to get by there. Rogers, Thoreau, along with Ryan Brommer and Nick Johnson. A very timely caution for them as well. But Seth Cole, I don't think he even saw that there were drivers that were trying to get going there like Barber and Lopez. He was behind Alex Gray at the time, and boy, just clobbered the 3 truck. There's the points leader involved there as well, and Ace Garcia. I don't know how much damage he's got there on the right front after he was the one that gave that shot to Lopez. We'll document all that in just a moment as we'll head back now for the restart. Got the signal 1 lap to green, so we'll go back green on lap 17 of 32. That should, according to my calculations, give us 16 laps to go in this one. 5 drivers decided to stay out. Tsang, Nicholls, Gray, Anderson, and Czekala. So apparently they are feeling one of 2 things. Either 1, we're going to have another caution, or 2, the drivers behind them are still not going to be able to make it the entire rest of the way on fuel. We're at the halfway point here, though, so I almost think they would be able to make it, but I don't know. Maybe it's a Hail Mary for these drivers. You've got 2 drivers in Nicholls and Gray that are former winners already this season, looking for their 2nd win, and then you've got Tsang, Anderson, and Czekala, who are trying to have a win to get themselves into the playoffs. So going for the ultimate risk reward here. Then you've got Michael Whitman, who was the race leader when the caution came out. He won the race off pit road, so he'll restart in 6th with Jonathan Zoerlein 7th, Mason Wood 8th, Tyler Deaver 9th, and Davey Johnson completes the top 10. After the incident, nobody out of the race, believe it or not. That is a shocker. That nobody has retired from the race after the contact we saw sustained by a number of drivers, including Lopez, Garcia, Cole, and Barber. But we are good to go, and all 42 trucks are still going to be able to continue. So the question being, with all those drivers coming to pit road here under this caution, just exactly what is the fuel window? How far can Tsang, Nicholls, Gray, Anderson, Czekala, how far can they go before they are definitely going to have to come to pit road and avoid running out of fuel? We'll find out. We're at the halfway point of this race, and the green flag is back in the air. Nicholls immediately dives to the bottom of the racetrack on Caitlin Tsang, looking for the top position. Alex Gray did not get a good start, and the top two kind of separated themselves away from that battle for third. Gray hanging on for the moment, but Michael Whitman, there you see him driving to the inside. Whitman, obviously with a lot more fuel in the tank, he can push it a lot harder than these drivers up here, who could at this point very well be on fumes. Look at the run. Whitman's getting there through 3. Yikes! Caitlin Tsang saw him coming, went down to try and block the momentum, and nearly got hooked for her efforts. Whitman not going to be denied, and now he's going to go for the top position. Mason Wood in tow, along with Davey Johnson, Tyler Deaver, and Paul Minnick. Paul Minnick, former winner this season at Bristol Dirt, 37th in the point standings, but more importantly, about 23 points, make that 27 points behind the cut line for 30th in the point standings. So it's still mathematically possible for him to get up there, and a second win could certainly help that effort. And now Caitlin Tsang in the 37 is coming to pit road, and Alex Gray just got hooked off the nose of, I think that was Julius Anderson, but it was coming to pit road. Is that enough for a caution? No, we're still green. Alex Gray and I believe that was the 97 of Julius Anderson were both coming to pit road, and Alex Gray just got turned off the nose of the 97. I think that was the 97. It might have been the 33 of Czekala, but I'm not 100% sure. But no caution, so we will jump to our NSRA split cam, where they will show you what just happened to the 0, who I'm assuming was trying to get to pit road. And no caution coming out to save him. So now Paul Minnick going to go for the race lead. We're still green, and now Isaac Nicholls has to peel off for pit lane. So that strategy, at least so far, not working out for those 5 drivers that decide to stay out, and I believe that's the 0 of Alex Gray just now leaving pit road. Field going to swing around him probably here out of turn 2. So I don't know how hard he hit that wall, but apparently he's able to get back out there. As now Jonathan Zoerlein goes to the race lead, and here comes Ryan Madden, second in the point stands. We documented last week for quite a amount of time about how consistent a year he's had. He just hasn't found victory lane. He's second in points only to A Garcia. And now they're going to catch up here to the 97 of Julius Anderson, and he's going to fall, if not 1 lap down, 2 laps down. I don't know if he's already a lap down to the race leaders or not. Up ahead, the 37 of Caitlin Tsang as well. So apparently staying out under that caution. They didn't get the quickie yellow they were looking for, and now those 5 that did stay out are going to pay the price. And that's obviously a big blow not only to Alex Gray, but also to Isaac Nicholls, in the fact that both of those drivers were the 2 that, coming into this race, were battling for that 8th position in the point standings. Now if we have a different race winner here tonight, both those drivers could find themselves on the outside looking in, as now they're going to catch Seth Cole in the 98, who is apparently way off the pace. And he just held up a whole bunch of drivers there through turns 3 and 4. Ryan Madden right now about to get held up. Patrick Smith, Tyler Deaver, all trying to get around. There's Michael Whitman, Charles Jackson. That's going to spread the field up a bit too. That may not be a good thing. I Nicholls now going to fall a lap down as J Zoerlein out in front showing the way. And yes, indeed, Nicholls, Tsang, Seth Cole, Anderson, and Gray all 1 lap down. I didn't know if they were 1 lap down or 2 laps down. And the 33 of M Czekala is also, I believe, just now hitting pit road. There he is. He made it a little bit further than a lot of the other drivers did on fuel, but now having to hit the pit road as it's going to be 10 laps to go for J Zoerlein. Now the question is, can everybody else behind him catch back up? Looks like they are. P Minnick was in second. He was about 1.8 seconds back last time. This time, cut it down by 6/10. So that group is catching back up to Zoerlein, but the caution flag is out. Caution flag waves for the second time here tonight, and I think it was after the leader crossed the start-finish line, so I think we are racing back to the yellow flag. P Minnick trying to get a big run down the back straightaway here with the lap truck of T Tsang, and he's going to be able to do it. He's going to take the race lead, and it looks like he'll be leading us back to the caution. A lot of help there from the 37 as Minnick will take the top position, and he will indeed lead us back to our second yellow of the day. Like another spin there off turn number 4. That's been the trouble spot all day. We've had 3 incidents take place there. The big one, the spin by Alex Gray, and now our most recent caution is yellow flag out for the second time here this evening. And now, if these drivers couldn't make it on fuel, they'll be able to use this pacing session to be able to come to pit road, top off, and they will be good to go for the remaining 9 laps of this race. Hard to tell who it was that spun. It may have been the 31 of S Gratton, who's back here quite a ways. All 3 drivers are damaged. Barber and Davison, Jordan Lopez. So I don't think it was one of them. I think it could have very well been the 31 of S Gratton. So we will step aside, take a look at a replay of what put us under the caution, and we'll come back for our restart with less than 10 laps to go here at Daytona. Here's what happened. I don't know if they were held up behind another driver further up here or something, but the 52 of Rogers, the 00 of Yepez got a huge run on this group. And Rogers tried to take and put his momentum somewhere, and unfortunately it was into the left rear quarter panel of S Gratton's Chevrolet. And there you see 31 going to go spin around, roof flaps deployed, doing the job of keeping the truck down on the racing surface. And since it was up on the racing surface as opposed to Alex Gray's spin, which was down pit road area and down on the apron area, NNSCRA officials having to throw the caution flag, even though this was pretty close towards the rear of the field. So this yellow sets us up for what could be a doozy of a finish. Let's head back now and see what's going to happen. Race officials showing one finger to the pace truck as well as the race leader P Minnick, indicating we are going back green with a 5-lap shootout to finish out tonight's race here at Daytona. So let's set the stage for you as they run right now. P Minnick trying to make his way into the top 30 in the point standings, but also pick up his second win of the season. Out in front, showing the way in this race. J Zoerlein, our winner from Las Vegas, looking for his second win of the season, which would more than likely lock himself up a spot in this season's playoffs, along with, Joshua Hyatt and Charles Jackson. You've got back behind him 2 lap machines of M Czekala and T Tsang, who are up to speed. Then you go back to 3rd place, 4th place, 5th place. Mason Wood, Eli Bright, and Davey Johnson, all looking for career win number 1 here in the TaxSlayer Truck Series. You go back a little further too there. Michael Whitman in 6th and Tyler Deaver in 7th. All trying to pick up their first career win. Charles Jackson looking for his 3rd win of the season. Jessica Miles and Patrick Smith, 9th and 10th. They are also looking for career win number 1. This is going to be a crazy last 5 laps. Nobody came to pit road as far as the leaders, so that indicates to me that they are good to go on fuel. So it's just whoever is in the right place at the right time, has the best truck, is able to work the draft the best, and makes the right move on the final lap that's going to win this race. it could be somebody that's not even in the top 10 for this restart. We'll have to wait and find out. 5 laps to go. Green flag back in the air at Daytona. Eli Bright, the first driver close to the front to make the move to the bottom. Michael Whitman going to go with him. That is for, I believe, the 3rd position, as now here comes Zoerlein to the bottom for the race lead. Keep in mind the 33 behind him is not on the lead lap, but could certainly play a factor in the outcome of this race. That M Czekala, as well as the 37 of C Tsang. Zoerlein to the race lead. Here comes Czekala and Tsang. They want their laps back. And they're bringing the 33 of Michael Whitman with them on the bottom. Whitman goes to 2nd. He might be able to take the race lead with the help of these 2 lap trucks just ahead of him. Look who else has just jumped up into the top 10. The 58 of Ricky Cervantes. Runner-up here the last time we were at Daytona. 3 wide at the front. Tsang wisely backs out of it as Zoerlein still hangs on to the lead. His challenger is the 33 Dr. Pepper Chevrolet of Whitman. Maybe it'll be Davy Johnson though, as Johnson's going to make it 3 wide down on the bottom. Mason Wood going to offer the help. Oh wow, Davy Johnson backed out of that just a bit there, and now they're going to be 3 wide back there for about the 3rd and 4th position between Eli Bright, Davy Johnson, and Mason Wood as up at the front. Top side, that's your lead lap cars. The 88, the 33, the 54, the 7, all trying to get around the lap machines of Czekala and C Tsang. 3 laps to go here at Daytona. Zoerlein's clear. Whitman is clear. Minnick and Bright trying to do the same. And now Whitman with the crossover drives into the bottom for the race lead on Zoerlein. And he will take the top position off of 2, but here comes Zoerlein trying to battle back on the top side. Whitman with the inside line, 233 trucks, nose to tail. 1's on the lead lap, 1 is not. Race leader Michael Whitman. And now Davy Johnson on that inside line trying to get 2nd from Zoerlein, but he's got 2 lap machines boxing him in away from the race leader Michael Whitman. Now M Czekala moves to the inside of Whitman. That could help Davy Johnson. Davy Johnson now side by side with Zoerlein for 2nd. Tries to pull alongside Whitman for the race lead as the 2 lap trucks up ahead are pulling that inside line. Now Czekala jumps ship to the high side. Here comes Minnick to the bottom to help Davy Johnson. Johnson trying to pull alongside Whitman as they enter into turn 3. He's there. Look at Zach Rogers in the 39. Where the heck did he come from? Johnson to the race lead as they will head for the white flag. Minnick's coming to pit road. Minnick's going to be out of fuel. He can't make it. And now Davy Johnson, Michael Whitman side by side into turn 1. Look at Cervantes trying to get down low. Can't get there. Madden blocks him there. Here comes Zoerlein in the 88 as Johnson's out in front. Zoerlein in the 88 going to try and take the top position now. Ryan Madden there as well in the 99. Zach Rogers in the 39. Davy Johnson makes his truck as wide as he can down the back straightaway. Zoerlein, where's he going to go? Can he go anywhere? Trying to get to the inside of Davy Johnson. Out of turn 4 for the final time. Can Zoerlein make a move? Trying to, but the inside line is pinned down. Davy Johnson is going to win here tonight at Daytona. And look out, they just encountered the 98 of Seth Cole, but Davy Johnson is going to pick up his first win of the season. Only his 2nd top 5 of the year. A driver that came into this race 33rd in the point standings, 15 points behind the 30th position in points cut line. And now the question is, did Davy Johnson just put himself into the hunt for the playoffs? What a battle there at the end. M Czekala and C Tsang playing a huge factor into the outcome of that race. But Davy Johnson, right place, right time, held that bottom line for the final lap. There was nowhere for Zoerlein to be able to go as they were 2 by 2 all the way from the front to the back. and Johnson hangs on for the victory. And that's where he's going to be going. The Daytona International Speedway Gatorade Victory Lane. But that is going to do it here tonight. Man, what a race. Johnson with the win, and Zoerlein, who finished right behind him by 6/100ths, will have to settle for second. Even though it's not a win, this will definitely move Zoerlein up in the point standings, which makes his win at Las Vegas earlier on this season all the more likely that he will make it in playoffs. Michael Whitman, the good finishes continue for the 33 team as he gets third, fourth for Zach Rogers. And how about Ryan Madden as he continues to try and close the gap between himself and A Garcia for the overall points lead? He's going to get a top 5 finish here this evening. Ricky Cervantes must really like Daytona. Second place here earlier on this season and now 6th here tonight. Mason Wood brings it home in 7th. 8th for Jessica Miles. Eli Brighton 9th. And completing your top 10 was Tyler Deaver. Ace Garcia, we saw him get involved in the big one. He battled back for a 14th place finish, so good run for him. Joshua Hyatt, 1 week after his second trip to victory lane, finishes right behind fellow two-time winner Charles Jackson. They were 16th and 17th. And as you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results, Tony Green, who came into this race as the defending winner at this track, 22nd place. And on down, you can see Paul Minnick wasn't able to make it the rest of the way on fuel, had to come to pit road in the closing stages. He gets 36th. Caitlin Tsang actually finished ahead of the leaders coming to that checkered flag, so she ended up finishing last car on the lead lap in 37th. And then the cars that finished off the lead lap, Marty Czekala, Julius Anderson, Isaac Nicholls, Alex Gray, and Seth Cole. The most important ones of those, the 19 and the 0, former winners who were battling for that 8th and final playoff spot. They may now have to worry about Mr. Davey Johnson with the win that he picked up here tonight. But that's going to do it here this evening from Daytona, as it's Davey Johnson taking the checkered flag here in the Driving for Lineman 200. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race. If you did, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. We've shown you full finishing results, and these are your overall point standings heading into next week's race. Next week, for the Truck Series, they are going to be heading to, they're going to have an off week next week, and then the following week, they're going to be at Hillside, as next week, Pizza Hut X Series is at Gateway, and Hershey's Cup Series is at Pikes Peak. But Pizza Hut X Series and Hershey's Cup Series have to have their races here this weekend at Daytona. That'll be next on the schedule. We will see you guys next time as you've been watching a production of the SCRA. Offline Racing at its best. Good night from Daytona.